Karen, the dictator in a skirt and self-proclaimed guardian of the aesthetics of the waterfront HOA, repeatedly reprimanded me verbally and in writing. I, trying to avoid conflict, each time apologized subtly, believing that reason would prevail. But in early June, I went fishing early in the morning, only to discover that the boat had disappeared from my dock without a trace. I lost my temper. But let's rewind a little. I am a former military man. I returned home in 2015 after many years of service. Life in civilian life started from scratch. Thanks to savings and benefits, as well as a diner on the beach where I sold fresh fish I caught, I was able to afford a house in a waterfront community. With a view of the water and my own dock, a dream come true. A week after moving in, I delivered my workboat. Fishing in the morning, grilling in my cafe in the afternoon. An idyll that lasted only 3 weeks. One morning I noticed a woman across the street, a blonde in glasses, taking pictures of my boat. A week later, a registered letter arrived. It said the boat was in violation of the aesthetic standards of the neighborhood. It was signed by Karen, the president of the HOA. She said the industrial look of the boat was inconsistent with the residential appearance of the community and offered to fix the violation within 14 days or face fines of $50 a day. At that point, I had other things to worry about: equipment repairs, bills, supplies. I put off the decision. A week later, the boat was gone. In its place was a notice. The boat had been towed as abandoned. Storage was $500 a day. Towing was $3,000. The total was more than $15,000. It was a blow. I went to the HOA Decision Center. Karen, sitting at the head of the table, presided over it as if at a tribunal. The vote was 4-1. My boat was officially declared non-compliant, despite meeting all technical standards. I realized that I couldn't back out. I contacted a lawyer, a former colleague of mine in the Army's legal aid programs. We started collecting data. Soon the picture became clear. Karen was squeezing out everyone who, in her opinion, did not meet the status of an elite neighborhood. In 2 years, she had evicted 3 families through fines, account freezes, and threats. The lawyer delved into the HOA's reports. It turned out that Karen had authorized more than $380,000 for emergency needs and land improvements that no one saw. No new roads, no streetlights, no playgrounds. The funds were disappearing, and the reports were signed by her personally. The culmination was that my boat was already listed for sale by a brokerage company, despite the fact that legally it remained mine. This was a direct violation of the law. I began looking for other victims. Many were afraid. Karen had a reputation for being vindictive, but one family, of South Asian descent, agreed to help. They were fined $50 per day for each family member, allegedly for unauthorized residence. The debts led to the loss of the house. We collected everything: checks, regulations with forged signatures, falsified minutes. The documents were handed over to the district attorney. His team established that Karen had systematically violated the law, embezzled funds, falsified documents, and illegally confiscated property. The investigation was handed over to the anti-corruption agency. The next day, police officers arrived at the gates of the community. Karen was escorted out under escort. She was charged with fraud, abuse of office, and abuse of authority. The court sentenced her to 3 years in prison. The HOA was officially dissolved. All illegally seized funds and property, including my boat, were returned to their rightful owners.